Hello, hello, it's Kim Carollo. Shut the front door too. We are a wreath door hanger vintage gift store and we're out of Lexington, Kentucky. And today we have a haul video for you. But first I want to explain as to why we didn't do a video last week. We made a promise to ourselves and honestly, probably at some point a promise to you guys that we would be doing a video every Sunday. And that is our plan. It is still our plan. It is very doable. And before we go any further, if you're just here to see the vintage and you don't want to hear this part of it, just fast forward a little bit. It'll be just, it won't be long, but just fast forward and then you can look at the vintage. Anywho, we're at the mercy of what we can find. And the videos that we do, it's filmed here in my living room, and I show you all the smalls that we find. And sometimes, sometimes it's not everything, because honestly, sometimes we need to move it quick. It has to go on to the booth spaces and etc. But we show you a portion and of what we find, and sometimes a large portion of what we find. Well, last week we found great things, but it was mostly the bigger things that we never show you, like side tables. We found a trunk, we found a shelf, floor lamps, things that don't make the cut for our videos. We pick that stuff up every week, but we don't always show it. And the reason why is the sheer volume, not volume, but the sheer size. So that won last week, which we needed it to win last week. I will be honest, we were running low on some of those items, big art. So it didn't make the cut to get to the video, and we only had, as far as what we call smalls, we had them, like maybe 10 or so things. And so those things have already moved on. They're already priced and sitting on the shelf or gone already at the booth. So we're sorry about that. We had hoped maybe we'd find enough this week. We could just double down and do 2 videos and it would be like a wash. And we didn't find enough to split the items. I'm just going to be honest. So we're doing the 1 video, but as we go along, we will likely be able to do that. And honestly, we want to anyway. It's kind of a part of the plan. I'm also really scratchy. Today this video is being filmed on a Friday, and I don't know if I'll post it today or if I'll wait until the normal day Sunday, but it's being filmed on a Friday. Fridays are work days at the salon for me. I talk a lot at that job. I have to talk a lot here, so if you see me sipping on some water, that is the reason why. I'm looking around to see what I want to show you first. And I think I'm going to show you something really different. Something that I pick up every, they're books. I pick up every old book that I find that fits the price range that I like the spine of. I use them in my own home. I use them in my booth spaces. They make great risers. They're just great to decorate with. You'll hear me say, that'll look great on a stack of books. And I should have a t-shirt printed that says, that'll look great on a stack of books. Anyway, I don't sell books, and don't come at me in the comments. You can come at me in the comments. I've got pretty thick skin, but I don't sell books the way a book reseller would. And let me explain why. There's a whole lot more than just finding a set of books, whether they're leather bound or not, that warrants a price. And a lot of people don't know that. So they will do research and they will look at a sold comp and they will think their stack of books is worth that. And it could be, but there's a whole lot more. Condition is key. Not just the condition of the book, but the condition of the pages. Even one bent page takes that value down, and all of those kinds of things. So I buy books. I love books. I decorate with books, and 9 times out of 10, and I do have all 10 of these, they're called the Junior Classics. 9 times out of 10, I'm buying them for that reason only, the spines. And I didn't bring all 10 of these out. And so because of that, I sell books separately, and I usually don't sell them in the sets. That is what I want you to put in the comments. Do you think I'm sort of like missing the boat on that? Should I, sell the books as sets? I'm going to tell you the reason why I don't is because of not knowing the full value of a book, and why you would price it at that. I would rather for someone find the books in my spaces and think, oh my gosh, that is a really good deal, because I'm none the wiser, but I've made someone really happy. And that's kind of worth more than the value of the book, I think. So let me get a sip of water, and then we're going to show you some more vintage, and we're going to move along from the books. Okay, let's start off with this. It's probably my favorite thing. And guys, I am probably running into a little darkness. I started this earlier and got sidetracked. I mean, I'm not ADHD, but sometimes I think I am. Maybe sometimes I wish I could say I was, so I had an excuse for how often I'm just like a squirrel and I go in all these different directions. But the direction we're going here is to show you this beautiful Portugal-made temple jar. It is beautiful, no condition issues, hand painted. It has birds on it. It has greenery on it. Greenery that's not greenery. It has a castle on it. It is just really charming and really great. I was happy to find that. Maybe the star of the show. I mean, if you know, you know. A fairy light. Looky here. Okay, so if you're a reseller and you're watching this, you know. If you're a collector and you're watching this, you're probably shaking your head, but you know. If you don't know, let me explain. These little guys, they're called fairy lights, and you put like little tea light or a little votive candle in them. They're all different makes and makers. Some are hand painted. And in the years that I have been collecting vintage and knowing about these things, there's always been more valuable ones and then less valuable ones. But I didn't have any idea how they had taken off as of late until a reseller friend of mine told me. And I was quite shocked, actually. Shocked, I'm glad for it. I think, they're beautiful. So with all that being said, and me thinking, am I going to get through this video today? I want to, because timing tomorrow is really tight. So I really want to get through it today. Having said all that, I do think this one is spoken for. The person, I thought she would have reached out by now to tell me if she really wanted it or not, and she hasn't. I do have a backup. With all of that being said, please don't hesitate ever to reach out. Even with me saying I have a backup, because sometimes when you reach out to a backup, that person will say things like, oh, well, I had a minute to think about it. Or sometimes they find something else and they've moved on. So especially when it's been a couple of days. So don't ever hesitate. If it is available and shippable, I'll get it right to you. Let me show you this really super cute rosewood box from India. Boxes are something I love. They're purposeful, but they also look good on those stacks of books like I showed you. And let me just go ahead and show you some ways. Since I have these books here anyway, I mean, can you visualize that on a side table or a shelving unit? So when you hear me say on a stack of books, these are the looks that I'm going for. These are the things that I'm thinking. And this one, you know, I would maybe say this one more on the blue colored book, but I had the three colors here, so I just grabbed them in order. And then the fairy lights. So, you know, maybe you can visualize that. I guess words are going to be hard again today. Visualize that for your own home, but that's just a little example. I don't pass them up, little ink wells. They're a great styling moment. And I find when you're doing vignettes, having little things to plop down in front, add some visual interest. And these are the kinds of things, you guys, that you're not going to see everywhere, and you're not going to see them in everyone's home. And so if you like it, it is a way to add more of a story for your own home, more of a curated look for your own home. And that could possibly glow. I should have checked it. I didn't. I don't have my black light here in front of me, so I've got my coffee table in front of me and no black lights. So, and I know some of you are thinking, oh, that's clear glass. Clear glass, old clear glass, some, not all, fluoresces under green light. I learned that about 6 months ago. This is a part of the job. I love to continue to learn. I love it. And so when you guys help me out in the comments, those are all just huge bonuses, and thank you for that. I think this is a handmade mug, but I'm not 100% sure. There's no signature, but there's also nothing that indicates that that would be, you know, something that was mass produced. I haven't done any kind of a research. So once I do research, if he's mass produced, he's still super cute. I tend to want to pick up unusual handmade mugs over anything mass produced, but when it's that cute, I mean, come on now. That's worthy of a pickup, don't you think? Another little box, because, you know, I'm not going to leave them behind. This one is brass. It's got some kind of stone, it looks like, on the outside, and it's, you know, it's brass all the way through. So this is a good pickup for that little something. It would be a great gift as well. Pottery for the win. Pottery is harder and harder to find. It's one of my very favorite things, honestly, because handmade items, my sister and I, we are also handmade artists. We do wreaths and door hangers. And when you craft something from the start to the finish, the time and the effort, the love that goes into that, not to even, you know, going back to as far back as the designing stages, there's a lot of levels before you get to here. And so I have a huge appreciation for it. But this, everyone should have a huge appreciation for, I think, because it's beautiful. I mean, what's not to love? And you could put this on a plate hanger and hang it on your wall. You could put it in a gallery wall. It would be really good just on a table just like this. Look really good on an easel, on that stack of books. And the colorway is amazing. Simply amazing. And really glad I found that. This is another thing that I am really glad I found. And probably the only thing, and guys, I'm sorry, it's not up to Etsy yet, and it won't be until probably a few days from now. But this is the only thing that for sure is going to Etsy, and that is this enamel over copper signed. I think that's probably a pelican. I mean, is that what bird you would think that is? If you know and I'm wrong, just tell me in the comments. But this beaut will be headed to Etsy. We're not behind. Well, maybe a itsy bitsy bit behind, but it's for a good reason. Guys, we got a new booth. We did. And I could tell you the start from the beginning. That would be a whole video in itself. Amazing. And then that's all I'm going to say. If you're a believer, God is good, and God is good. So that's all I'm going to say, except for that, yes, we did acquire. We're at 2 different locations, and in one space we have 3 booths, and the other space we have 1. It just opened on March 1st, and I'm hoping to get to where, you know, I can do some booth restocks and those kinds of videos, because they're fun to watch. If you don't watch any of that kind of thing, Amanda's Mercantile is my favorite person. She doesn't post very regularly, but if you don't know of her, you can go back and watch all of her videos. She just does a remarkable job, and she's so fun to watch. And I just think her personality, I just think she would be, I think she's funny. I don't think she maybe means to be, and I don't even know if she would consider herself funny, but that her little personality, when it just seeps in every now and again, it makes me smile, and in a really, really good way. I love this. I absolutely love it. It's a candle holder. Some might call this a fairy light too. I didn't do any research. It's glass. I wouldn't. I don't think it falls in the category at all, but who knows now with the crazy uptick on the fairy lights if someone would think that. I would call it a candle holder all day long, and that's what I think it is, but I do think it's really pretty and really, really nice. Oh, a piece of art for the win. Trying to keep the glare from, or so that you can see the actual art. I think the date says 98, and the title of it is called Wild Flowers, but I think it's really pretty. I love that green mat, and it's the perfect size for all of the places. Even a shelving unit. I like art for backdrops. I like trays for backdrops as well. Now this was one of those pieces that was almost too big, but I think we can fit it into the screen. It needs to be cleaned up. I don't know, like it, I mean, I just picked it up, so I guess the person that sold it didn't even dust it off. I love it. I would call this a dresser box. And I think it's really, really cool. It has, I think these are brass feet, has the little feet on the bottom, and then the little knob here on the front. I like that color, sort of maybe that dark walnut color. I liked it, so I was happy to find that as well. Oh, some more books. Now these books are medical books. And I liked them too. And I like the spine, but I know a lot of people like medical books, you know, anyway, so there could be some things. I'm trying to see if there's anything that maybe I shouldn't show, but there's nothing really so far. But the graphics are really fun in medical books, and there's 3 I found, and this is clinical surgical diagnoses. So you could look up all your ailments and I guess treat yourself. To me, I like it just like this. It has the perfect amount of wear and tear for me. And then one more is this one, and this one is the treatment of fractures. So, you know, we can become doctors ourselves, right? We have 3 books here to get started. I don't know when these books, oh, the things I say. I don't know when these books were printed, and, oh my goodness, I think this one says 1923. I'm sure a lot has changed since 1923, but, you know, it's got a good colorway, and it's got, again, the perfect amount of wear and tear. So look really good on a shelf. And let's see here. I think I'm almost finished. Silver tray, I'm never going to pass them up. I think this one I will glow it up, but I love a tray as a base and then build the vignette on it. But I also love round trays because they're harder and harder to find. And then for the very last item, but a really cool, I was making sure that it was the very last item. A really cool item is this old, almost didn't have the candle holder, this old box with the latches on the front, has the handle. It's probably an old toolbox and it's amazing. It does have a considerable amount of weight, so it is shippable, but it would also cost quite a bit to ship. This is another one of those items that things like this have the character and charm. They don't make things like this anymore, and it has the character and charm. They're conversation pieces and add more to that curated and styled look for your own home if that's what you like. Hey guys, that's it. We hope that you have the very best day. We'll talk to you really soon, and we'll try real hard to make sure. Now, it'll probably be on regular schedule. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I may go ahead and post this today. I may not wait until Sunday. So videos typically post up on Sunday, so it will be that full week in a couple of days, depending on when we let this one go up. Hey guys, go have the very best day. We'll talk to you really soon.